streaming on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
So want to catch you there.
Yeah, well, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for inviting me to your space and having me here today. To start, again, my name is Kayla Thompson. I'm the program manager for Family Promise of San Joaquin County. And I'm just here to share a little bit about our program.
You want this?
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Sure, that's perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Okay. All right, and then another one. And to start, we're going to talk about our Family Promise overview. Family homelessness is an invisible crisis that is occurring in our community. It may not be what you imagine homelessness to be when you first think of it in your head. A lot of our families are unseen because they are in motels, or they are couch surfing with families, or they're sleeping in their cars. So they're doing everything they can to not be outside or on the streets. So Family Promise is actually a national organization. It started in 1986 in New Jersey, and since then there are now over 200 affiliates across the country. And Family Promise of San Joaquin County is actually one of our newest. So we just opened our doors only about 2 years ago. So we are very excited about the work that we are doing and wanting to spread it to all of you. In the last school year, the 2022-2023 school year, it was reported that 5,785 students experienced homelessness at some time in the school year last year. And that was reported by the Office of Education. So our mission at Family Promise is to reduce family homelessness and support low-income families to achieve sustainable independence through a community-based response. So Family Promise, we are a secular organization with a unique partnership with the Interfaith Network and to congregations like all of you. So to explain a little bit of this graphic, Family Promise, we have a resource center that is located in northern Stockton near the Lincoln Center, and it's where our families are able to be at during the daytime. But our shelter program is very unique because we partner with congregations to host our families. So for a host congregation specifically, there could be an education wing that goes underutilized during the week because it's only really being used on Sunday school. So they turn those classrooms into bedrooms for our families. And then it's in a rotation, so from one week to the next, they move to different host sites. So at our host sites, volunteers will set up the rooms. So these are examples of what it could look like at our congregations, and our awesome volunteers that always set it up and prepare it for our families before they arrive. And the next, our meals are served. So all of the meals at Family Promise are made at our volunteers' homes and then are brought to the congregations to then feed and serve our families. And there is fellowship as well. So those volunteers will eat those meals with families, conversate, laugh, cry, all of the things. And at the end of the week, our volunteers will help break down what was set up at the congregations. And then our families will prepare on that Sunday to move to the next host site, and then it repeats itself. So how can you help? So you can absolutely volunteer. You guys are actually already part of our network of congregations. You are support congregations, and we're always looking for more volunteers. So what those volunteer opportunities can look like is van driving. So we do have a 15-person van that brings our families from our resource center to our host congregation in the evening. And then in the morning time, the van will pick our families up at the host site and then bring them back to our resource center. So we always need van drivers. There are overnight volunteers as well that will stay at the congregation with our families in case if they need a volunteer in the middle of the night, or a child has a fever and they can get them Tylenol or what have you. As well as fellowship and food preparation that we had talked about previously. So Volunteers always making their favorite dish and dinners and bringing it to share with our families. So volunteers, they are the true core of Family Promise. We are a staff of 3, so it's a very small program, but we have over 1,000 volunteers in our network, so we truly could not do it without our volunteers. And a quote from one of our volunteers is, "That's what's so great about Family Promise. They give families more than shelter. They welcome them in and help them focus on healing and moving forward." So as you can see, I don't know if you can see, it might be a little small print, but these are all of our support congregations that are currently in our network. Our support congregations are tied to our host congregations to help with meal preparation, filling in those van driver spots, maybe coming and doing a child activity with the kids in the program. And on the bottom left corner is Crosstown, so you guys are already part of our mission. And then next is our host congregations. I don't think I mentioned this before, but all of our congregations are throughout San Joaquin County. So we have host sites in Lodi and in Manteca. The majority are in Stockton. And the congregation that you all are currently hosting is Holy Cross United Methodist Church in Stockton. And to briefly just talk about our resource center. So during the day, when our families are not at our host sites with our congregations, they are at our resource center, and we have a ton of different resources that are available to our families, and in a lot of different spaces. So we have a storage room with lockers for all of our families to store all of their personal belongings in a very safe place. We have a computer lab that our families are able to utilize to work on their resume, apply for jobs, apply for housing. We have playrooms, a laundry room, showers, all the different things that are needed to create a safe environment for our families to thrive. At our resource center, we also have our awesome case manager, and she works intensively with our families to address the barriers that are keeping our families from being stably housed, and doing everything in her power to help them along in their journey. And the last thing with our resource center is it is our stop, or the school bus stop for our for the children in our program to be picked up to get to school. So our school districts will come and pick them up at our resource center. Okay. And this is a picture of us from last year at our Family Fun Festival. And we're having one this year again as well, so we would love you all to be there. But we had a ton of success last year, and these are 2 different graduated families that graduated last year. And then that's me and our executive director as well. Last year, we were able to serve 12 families. With an 88% success rate of our families graduating into permanent and stable housing.
Nice.
Yeah, and with that, since our beginning 2 years ago, we've had a 100% success rate of our families being still housed. So none of our families have fallen back into homelessness. And on average, our families are in our program for 95 days. It is a 90-day program. But in that 90 days, if our families are really working hard and we're giving them that support that they need, they're able to graduate in that 3-month mark. Okay. And I do just want to leave you all with another quick success story of one of our families, of Olivia and Kennedy. Olivia, when she came into our program, she was in a really broken place. She didn't have a support net or family under her. So we were able to connect her to a lot of different incredible agencies in our community called Prevail and Central Valley Low-Income Housing to provide her the funding to move in for all the moving costs and to subsidize her rent. During her time in that 90 days, she was also able to get a phlebotomist job at a highly regarded hospital in San Joaquin County.
Nice.
Yeah, and she was also able to take our New Beginnings financial literacy course to improve her credit, to learn how to budget and just manage her finances better. And during this time, she did start a small, her own business. So she was working on a lot of different things and really took the opportunity to make a change in her life. And on the picture on the right, that is Kennedy. This is the first bedroom that she has ever had in her life. And this was maybe taken 2 weeks after they moved into their apartment. They are still there today. She decked it all out in unicorns and all the pretty things. So Family Promise has really made a huge impact already on the families in our community. And yeah. And that concludes my presentation for all of you today. Again, my name is Kayla. I'm the program manager for Family Promise. I do have a table in the back, so I'd be more than happy to talk more about our program, share more information, how you can get involved. And yeah, thank you so much for having me today.
So, and Kayla, how long have you been in this position as the program manager?
Yeah, so I just started as the program manager in January, but I was the case manager before that for the year and a half before.
Yeah, so this is kind of new for her, going around to the congregations and talking. So I apologize if any churches have not been more than polite to you.
Oh, no.
But church people can be fussy at times, but we're glad to have you here. And again, the issue of homelessness is very dear to the heart of our congregation. And, you know, in the prophet Isaiah said in chapter 1, stop doing wrong, learn to do right. And that was real eye-opening for me. You can't just tell people, well, stop doing that and start doing the right thing, if nobody teaches them. Nobody teaches them financial literacy, how to be a better parent, how to look for an apartment. And you guys are doing the lengthy, hard work, and we just really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for being part of our network.
No, thank you. So afterwards, Kayla will be at a table in the back if you want to talk to her. Also, we need somebody from our church to be the point person, to step up and say, I'll be the Crosstown coordinator to coordinate with Holy Cross Methodist about when our week will be and get volunteers from here to cook food or visit or whatever else. So if God's moving on your heart to do that, talk to Kayla afterwards and see what all that would entail. But we just appreciate the opportunity that Family Promise really has done the hard work of setting up a whole program to help families get off the street, care for them, teach them how to live independently, and then help get them plugged into homes and jobs and such. So it's exciting, especially when somebody else has already done the heaviest lifting on that. So again, thank you.